remember where to find that page that we're supposed to fill out?
I'd have to go back on again and double check, but I think I know it's on there somewhere. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to find it so that we can do that.
Yeah, we got to fill out that page, and then we got to submit the recording. So.
Wasn't it with last week that we had to fill that out for?
What's that?
Wasn't it like for last week that we had to fill it out by, or was it the week before that we were supposed to do it technically?
Oh, I can't remember. I have to go back and look on Brightspace to find out. So I can't remember though.
All right, I'll just look and we'll see what we can find.
Cool. Sorry about that. I wish I was more of a help, but I'm at work, so it's kind of
hard. That's okay. I've opened it before. It basically just says like who's going to be the group leader which day or whatever. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, technically, I need to be the group leader so that I can submit it and we can get credit and we can each share the responsibility. So.
Yeah. I mean,
you've done it pretty much every time, so.
Well, I can always submit the link. I feel like the group leader is more the one who asks the questions, like directs the conversation. I know it's not as big of a role here because there's only the two of us, but
yeah.
So, because I don't know, does it give you a link after to be able to submit? Because I have the link because I'm the one recording it.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to submit the link.
Yeah, that's no big deal.
Well, I guess we got to do it all at the same time, though. We got to submit the link and the paper, don't we?
Yeah, but I can always submit the paper, too.
Okay. Well, you want to do it this week, and then we'll figure out a way for me to do it next week so that we can share.
That
sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't find that paper. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But we can always start discussing, and I can just try to look in between. I should have had it pulled up. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Wait, I think I just found it. No, I didn't. All right. Well, we can start the discussion. I'll try to find it after. We'll do it at the end.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So I have the questions pulled up though for the discussion.
Okay.
Maybe that's where I should go from. So discussion questions. So first one is, what do you see as the key issues in the case?
The key issues for what? I'm sorry?
Key issues in the case.
Cool. So, go ahead and start if you want. I'm sorry. I'm still I'm getting kind of distracted. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I kind of got the sense of feeling like, like when the case first started, how basically it kind of starts where he's like, another long day at the office. He's like leaving basically with a migraine. He just seems like really dissatisfied with his job.
Yeah.
And then like he seems at the beginning like he's like really like a good candidate for the job. He got the promotion. He was getting noticed for things, or he was striving to get noticed. He was like putting a lot of effort in from what I got from it. And then it seemed like his boss, Davis, was kind of just like, didn't like the way he worked and said he was too conservative. So, yeah, I thought the issue was more maybe his boss wasn't accepting of other ideas, because like when it comes to working, even if somebody's not somebody's below you on the chain, I feel like they might have some really good ideas that you can implement and accept. It's good to have a variety. And so I thought that was an issue in the case.
Yeah. So it's Green and Davis, right?
Yeah.
So Green is the one who got the promotion, and then Davis is the one that was in his spot and got promoted. And, okay,
right.
So I've actually dealt with this in my job before quite a few times, where you get guys that come out of the police academy, get on the streets, and then instantaneously start acting like they know everything.
Yeah, I guess that's true too, huh?
So I have a little bit of a different perspective in that one, in that yes, he has the talent, yes, he's able to get the job done, yes, he's got the promotion and he received that position because of his abilities. But I also believe that there's a certain amount of humility that has to go into taking a position like that, and that he does report to Davis. Now, I'm not faulting completely on Green by any means. I think that Green needs to know his place, but I also think that Davis, the boss, I think that he shows a lack of understanding on how to deal with somebody who just took over that position. Yes, he understands the position because he was there and he did the job.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand how to manage the person that's doing that job. I feel like he's more of a micromanager, and then when it push comes to shove and he's trying to take care of business, instead of going to Green, he goes to McDonald. So the emails and all the bad talking and everything like that it should never get to the point to where it goes right to McDonald. It should be handled by Davis talking to Green and them getting on the same page so that they can work out their issues instead of having to take it to upper management or up to.
That's so true. Yeah, I think that's interesting. Like, you can kind of offer a different perspective there with, you can understand both sides. Yeah, I mean, like you said, maybe Davis really does need to know his place and know, like, when it's okay to step up and speak up and when is the right time and place. But then, like, with Davis comments, like he says things like his negative attitude's not what we need on the team, like, just kind of talking bad about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that there's a few different issues there. So, you kind of had mentioned not bringing the higher ups in to solve all your problems. So next question is, like, if you were Shannon McDonald, would you have hired Thomas Green? Why or why not?
All right, I'm sorry. I'm having a really hard time hearing you, and it's kind of breaking up. So you said McDonald?
So, also, if I'm hoping my computer will last, but my husband left the charger at work, and I've got 33% left, so hopefully it doesn't die because it tends to die kind of fast. But
okay, we'll do this quick then.
Yeah, if it shuts down, that's kind of probably what happened. But the question is, if you were Shannon McDonald, would you have hired Thomas Green? Why or why not?
Would I have hired Thomas Green?
Yeah.
Yes, I would have.
Why?
Because he definitely has the talent and the know-how to be able to bring a fresh new perspective to that position. I think that he has shown the capability to do the job, and that's the whole reason why in the case study she gave him the job in the first place. So yes, I would. I would also invest some significant amount of time training not just Green, but also training Davis on how to manage Green.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that those are some good points. I would agree with that. I think it is nice to have somebody with new, fresh ideas and perspective and all that. Yeah, I think they both could have benefited from training, but with Davis, he should definitely know better because he's been there before, whereas Green is newer and maybe at the beginning should be cut a little bit more slack.
Yeah.
So, the next not so much questions, but it's just telling us to describe Frank Davis and like what does he value or what's the end goal that he's after, and the same for Thomas Green.
Okay,
Basically,
well, you go first on that one.
Oh, I don't know. Let me think about this. I mean, I think it's important to find what they value, because it helps you to understand each individual and kind of where they're coming from. I mean, I think like Green gets that type of satisfaction from working like a long day, likes to work, likes to come up with new ideas. I feel like he likes people to kind of give him praise. You know, he likes to hear that he's doing a good job. And I think Davis, I keep mixing him up. I think he values that, or something that's important to him is just like, I feel like he kind of likes to be the boss a little bit, or he likes to have things done his way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say is kind of important to him.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think that Green definitely has the talent in terms of doing the job, and so I would say that Davis, obviously, given that he got the promotion moving above the rank of where he was before, which is the position Green took, Davis, again, knows how to do the job, but I think he micromanages. He wants things done his way, and if it's not done his way, then I think there's issues, and that he takes things personally when Green called him out in the meeting.
Yeah.
And said that he didn't think that the projections were reasonable. I think that it shouldn't be, at that point, it shouldn't be Davis's job to get on Green and get mad. It should be Davis's job to spend time with Green to get him on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like Green probably shouldn't have shouted that out in the meeting. If he had an issue with it, he probably should have done it in private. Say, hey, I'm having a hard time with these goals.
Absolutely.
It's not really doable for me. Like, can you break this down? It's kind of like he could have went about it just a better way and in a different place. But
yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. I think that's true. So on that note, how do the actions of Thomas Green differ from the expectations of Frank Davis? I think we kind of addressed that, where he should have. Frank Davis wanted it to be done his way, and Thomas Green just kind of blurted it out and didn't really understand his point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to sound kind of silly, but have you ever seen the movie Men in Black?
I think like a long time ago. I don't really remember though too well.
So if you watch the movie Men in Black, that's the one with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay,
Tommy
yeah,
Lee
I know
Jones
what you're talking about.
Yeah, he recruits Will Smith, and Will Smith is this young, cocky cop from New York City, and then ends up becoming one of the Men in Black. And I make this look good, and I know what I'm doing, and all this other stuff. And then throughout the movie, it actually shows, yes, he has the talent to be able to do the job, but he has to understand Tommy Lee Jones's character. And I just when I read this case study, for some reason I kept making the relationship between Thomas Green and Davis.
That's funny.
I kept making that with Will Smith's character and Tommy Lee Jones's character. So it's kind of funny. The young cocky executive is coming up the ranks, and you recruited me, and and then Davis being like, you got a lot to learn, youngin', or
Yeah, even though he's got like all that talent, he's so true. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
No, you're totally fine.
People on. Oh my God, they sit there and crack jokes, and they're all getting drunk. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's kind of entertaining.
Yeah, I bet a little bit entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good comparison. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is a kind of interesting. Who do you think is mostly at fault for the state of the current situation?
Well, honestly, looking at it from McDonald, from her perspective, I would put it on both of them. I wouldn't put it mostly on Davis, and I wouldn't put it on Green. However, here's how I would handle it. If I was McDonald, I would not let Green know that I was giving it a 50-50 responsibility with Davis. As far as I was concerned, being McDonald, I would let Green know, hey, you need to report to Davis. You need to do this with Davis. You need to show the utmost respect because he's your boss. He's the one taking charge, blah, blah, blah. And then in private later on, I would take Davis aside and I'd be like, this is your fault too.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to go about it. At first, I didn't really know who I thought its fault would be. I agree that it's equally both of their faults, but I kind of wonder who has more accountability, and maybe it would be Davis because he has more time with the company, and he should know how to handle these situations a little better, and he should have been the bigger person maybe to be like, hey, kind of what you shouted out in the meeting. It makes sense that this is a little bit difficult for you, but that's something we should talk about in private. So let's set up a meeting. Although they were both wrong, I think he could have handled it better being the one who should have more experience. So I agree that's both of their faults, but I would say I would agree that you should handle it the way that you described, So both understand that they're accountable, but yeah. I don't know. I almost think the person who's in charge is almost expected to be like the bigger person.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In a way. And
Yeah,
set that example.
Yeah. Sometimes that's difficult when you get somebody that's young and knows it all and with that attitude. And
yeah, that's true. That can be difficult. Yeah. But I think there's a right way to put them in their place too, because it's true, like he did need to be put in his place. But yeah. And like there's a way that you can do that and have develop a good relationship instead of just kind of butting heads.
Yeah. Well, I've always been of the opinion that you get further in life with honey than you do with vinegar. So it's always better to be able to cooperate with people than try to fight against them. So
yeah, that's true. And there are certain things my mom would always say, pick your battles. Like there's certain things that doesn't matter, that don't matter, and then there's other things that like are important and you should speak up about.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's kind of just like choosing, what's actually important, and not just fighting and bickering for no reason just because you're frustrated with that person. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that it?
So there's a bunch more, but I know we don't really have to go through all of them.
Well, your battery's low and I'm at work, so how about that? So.
Yeah, here, I'll ask two more. How about that?
All right, go for it.
Because there's like a connections. There's one. I'll ask one under the application section and one under the connections, and then we'll finish. So there's like a bunch more. So how can wait? How do office politics come into play in many organizations?
So that's a good question. Hey, hold on just 1 second for me.
Okay.
You there?
Yeah.
All right, hold on just 1 second for me. All right. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right. My boss is texting me asking me where I'm at, so I got to go quick. Okay, so office politics. I think that office politics, instead of using the word politics, I would just rather use the word environment. So you've got to adapt to the environment in which you're at. You have to be able to adapt. If you can't adapt the office politics or the office environment, if you can't adapt to that, then it's going to put a disruption in everything that already is in place. sometimes, depending on the environment, that can actually, sorry, sometimes that can actually be a good thing, depending on whether or not there's a bad aura in the office. But it can also be a bad thing if you don't give it time to see how it is.
Yeah, I think that's really true. I think it's good, kind of like the environment, how you kind of change that perspective on there. Do you have to go right now? If you do that too. Cool.
Yeah, I gotta go. My sergeant's texting me asking where I'm at, so I'm gonna have to
Okay.
take off. But
So what I'm gonna do, I'll fill out that paper and I will email it to you. How's that sound?
yeah,
I'll
that sounds
submit
great.
it to the teacher too, but that, just so you know. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Hey,
All right.
appreciate it, Abby. Thank you.
No problem. See you next
Have a good
week.
night.
You
Okay,
too.
bye.